Welcome back to another episode of the Head First Podcast. I'm JP Sponseller, joined by Corey Klingenbeck. No Cole Harding today. Think he's got some work to do. He's got some other stuff that's holding him down. So just a two-man crew, and we got a special guest today, Dean Mihos of the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers. I know I just mentioned to him, I feel like I've falsely created this narrative that I love the war room and I don't give any love to the position players. So finally glad to have our first Coastal position player on here. Dean, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, man. It's an honor to be the first position player on the podcast. So I look forward to getting the narrative switched over here.
Yeah, hell yeah. And by the way, I completely forgot. Corey, happy birthday, man.
Hey, man.
Yo, happy birthday.
420, baby. I
420,
love it.
Let's go.
There you go.
You getting your buy one, get one Chipotle today?
I'm thinking about it, but probably not. I was thinking about it. I was working hard today. Had to put the beer on the shelves today, so that didn't get – I didn't stop by Chipotle, no. I did not.
I think it started at 3 p.m. I got my Jack Hughes USA jersey just got shipped in on Friday, so I'm pumped to throw that thing on and head over and get me a free burrito here soon. Yeah. Probably right after this, honestly. But Dean, let's get right into it, man. I got my first question to kind of break you in a little bit. Team is getting on the road, stopping at a gas station. What's Dean Mihos' gas station starter pack? If you give me a drink and a snack.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm probably going to go probably like a body armor.
Okay.
Orange mango body armor. That's probably my number one thing. And then, if we're going unhealthy, try not to tell my coaches, I'm getting a honey bun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a classic.
Yeah. Especially if we're on those 8-hour road trips up there to Marshall. Like, I'm getting a honey bun. You're not going to tell me not to get one.
Yeah. I feel like honey buns have kind of fallen off in the past. Like I just know when I was a kid, like honey buns were the shit. Like,
oh, they're great. Yeah.
I was a breakfast a lot of times.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, we tend to stop at a lot of rest stops, so we'll hit the vending machines. Like, we'll all be huddled around and reaching through the iron bars, trying to get the honey buns. But yeah, me and Colby Thorndike definitely take down honey buns, and he's a big Mountain Dew guy, so we're definitely hitting it hard.
Hell yeah. Another question. I saw this in another podcast I think you did earlier on in the year. You were talking about you and Blake Barthol and doing some Lego sets, maybe some Star Wars. Talk about that a little bit. Is there any new like, have you guys built anything as of recent or?
I mean, we go pretty hard on those. I think we've done a bonsai tree. We did an R2D2, and then I think his mom had gotten us a God, I feel like I'm in elementary school. His mom bought us a what was it? How to Train Your Dragon. It was pretty cool. Not as cool as the other ones. But no, recently we haven't gotten any done. It's just obviously the season's starting up. It's been super busy, but we'll definitely have to get back in there soon and build something big. But that's what we got right now. So it's something fun to do, relax, chill out at the house.
Oh, yeah.
Love it. Clang, what do you got for him?
I used to be a huge Lego dude. Like, me and my brother would dominate Legos back to back, like birthdays, Christmas. Oh my God, I was asking for Lego sets here and there. But no, back to the food side of things. Coastal people might like this one, but your favorite Conway restaurant fast food and your favorite like on the road, in season, or even anywhere in the country fast food that's not in Conway.
Okay. Yeah, so Conway specifically, that's going to be tough, man. There's a lot of different spots. I mean, I would say probably for me, Jimmy's Hibachi is probably number one. It's right across 501. And, we get it a lot. They actually put one in on campus. And then obviously the off-campus ones, the OG, it's great.
Nice.
Usually get chicken teriyaki and rice, some vegetables on the side. Can't really go wrong with that.
Hibachi bangs.
Yes, every time. It never gets old. And then on the road, I actually usually I'll mix in the Domino's one time on the road. You know, you got to get a pizza after, midnight snack, especially if you don't play till late the next day. But I had Wingstop for the first time in Arkansas.
No, dang.
So
what's
if
your
I
thoughts?
can find a Wingstop wherever I go, I'm going to get it from now on.
No way.
What was it about Wingstop that did it for you?
I think there's a spot back home where I go and eat all the time, like home, and they have like the best wings in my opinion. It's just like a local shop, and I find it very difficult to find good wings if I'm just going out to like a bar to get bar food. And everybody always talks about Wingstop, but there's not one close by here in Myrtle, so I never really got to stop at one. So I ordered some wings, got them, and I was kind of blown away by like fast food wings, I guess you could say, but
nice.
They were damn good.
You love it here in Clifton. I mean, there's one right next to campus.
Yeah.
So if you want to grad transfer, use that 5th year. I see you senior years right here. So hey, if I need to come Clifton.
Don't tempt me too much, man. I mean, Wingstop, they got some pull with me now.
Now, Wingstop, I can't say I'm like a huge Wingstop guy, but I do have a respect for the simplicity of it. Like, hey, we don't have much on the menu other than wings and fries, but we're gonna try to dominate that and get stuff done over there. That's a good establishment, great establishment. Couple fan questions here submitted. We got one from Case Bosch Lover.
There we go.
Ask him about how Case Bosch is.
Dude, Case is he's an interesting cat. He keeps himself. He's pretty quiet. At first it was hard to get anything out of him. He's definitely come around. Case is awesome. He works really hard. Like I said, he keeps himself, but we've definitely broken him in a little bit and try to get him around the guys more. He's got that girlfriend, so, keeps him around a little bit. So we got to, pull him away every now and again. But no, Case is great. He's done great things for us on the mound this year, and we're looking for him to continue, moving in the right direction and stepping up to help the staff right now.
Nice.
Hell yeah. And then I got another one submitted by my middle brother, who he made plenty of trips down to Conway when my older brother was on the team and absolutely loved it. So you can kind of tell where this question's coming from. From Ty Sponseller, are there sick pool parties at Coastal?
Oh gosh, I know they do have pool parties at College Town, but I'll tell you, we're never home to go to them.
Yeah.
Not even in the fall when you guys are like, I know fall ball, this or the other, but like not to, don't blow the boat up too much. So
that's more so, we'll have. I used to live right on campus at kind of like a frat house. It was kind of all the frat houses are right there at University. That's actually what the street's called. So, we'd be able to like get with the frats and have parties and stuff. But now I live like 20 minutes off campus. We like to call it our retirement living facility because Blake and I are older now, so we get away from the noise and just hang out here. But no, like believe it or not, like I haven't been to one pool party since I've been here. I've been to a lot of slip and slide parties. They'll get like the blow up, like the water slides. So I've been to plenty of those, but never an actual pool party.
See, that is the one thing that like like you get that major FOMO. You're seeing your buddy stories, like even at UC, they just like make those makeshift slip and slides or pools. Like, damn, like they always had them in the spring. And
always,
damn, if we could have gone to like maybe a couple.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, even.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, going down there this March, it's like, especially as I'm not playing anymore, but the whole time I was down there, I felt like I was watching college baseball on a spring break trip. Like the vibes down there, if I was a player, I would probably find myself getting into a little bit of trouble. Temptations. I'll just leave it at that. Seems like there's a lot of fun to be had down there for sure.
That is for sure, and that our coach makes sure to tell us, every time before we leave the field after a game, make the right choices. But we haven't had any issues with that. We got a great group of guys. So
nice.
Yeah. Moving over to another question from a fan, Brian Quigley. You can tell how locked in he is.
Oh yeah.
Was there any adjustment from last year to this year, moving into a clear leadership role with a younger team?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, it's just business as usual. I mean, I've had great leadership when I was a younger player here. So just trying to continue doing what I thought was right as a player and just leading by example. And having Blake on the team with me, he's another senior. Me and him kind of had that a lot. And he's kind of quieter, so he's kind of a lead by example guy. I'll be a little more vocal. But we've been doing this for 3 years now. We know what works and doesn't work. And the most important thing is building that culture with the team, especially off the field, because everybody can play good when things are going well. But it's when the shit hits the fan, how do you respond as a team? Do you come together closer? Do you separate? And that all shows in those tougher moments.
Yeah, I want to go into that a little bit more, but before we do that, we got to talk about what went down this weekend. Having Quiggs out there throw the first pitch for his first time ever. I put out a tweet, and I show a lot of love to Quiggs, but I just feel like he's honestly, from people you see on Twitter, and I've got the chance to interact with him in person a little bit. I believe he's probably the most supportive, like has your guys back, going to be in the stands every single game, regardless of if you're winning or losing. And then also just like, as obviously he's super invested, and you'll never see him bash a kid or talk about a kid on Twitter. Like, I just feel like he's honestly in today's day and age too, he's kind of one-of-one when you talk about like college sports fans and the support and not bashing. I'm just curious, like what are your guys' thoughts and feelings towards Quiggs? And it's obviously just got to feel great, like having him there every day. And then obviously times like this weekend where you get to see him fired up about throwing out the first pitch.
Yeah, no, it's definitely been a journey. I mean, since my freshman year, I show up on campus and I'm like, this guy is absolutely nuts. Like, what is he doing? And through the years, I've gotten to know Quiggs. He's gotten to know me, and I have an incredible respect for him and what he does for our program. I mean, he's there at every game, and he doesn't only support baseball. He's there for every sport here at Coastal, and he's the same way with everyone. But for baseball specifically, he's always there. I've never heard him say a bad word about anyone on the team, any coach, any staff member. And to see him, get the opportunity to throw that first pitch out, he's one of those guys who doesn't ask for anything, right? But he's going to give everything. And, to have our AD go out to him and, give him that opportunity, give him that spotlight is something that, I know he really appreciated. And it's something us as players appreciate, that he gets that recognition.
Yeah. As I was to say, I had to fire you guys up a little bit. Like Saturday, you guys are all in the dugout.
Oh, yeah.
Hearing Quiggs being announced out there, a crowd getting fired up.
Well, he actually, him and Joe Katz, our radio announcer, came into the locker room like pregame, like, Quiggs, what are you doing in here, man? He was all tuned up. I was like, what are you doing in here, man? Yeah, I gave him a big hug. He's like, throwing out the first pitch. I'm like, that's awesome. So we all made sure to get out there a little early. And obviously he shot a strike in there. So.
Yeah, he didn't bounce it. He was really worried about bouncing it.
Yes, he was. I'm like, dude, just get the arm slot up, loosen it up, you'll be fine.
Quiggs.
But no, I love that. Yeah, when Chants goes out there and asks him, he's like cracking another Miller as he's committing to throwing the first pitch. Love it. Love it.
Thinking of the same plan, man.
I wanted to ask you, rewinding a couple months. Obviously, there's always very high expectations within your guys' program. But I feel like this year, maybe more than ever from the outside, like you guys are preseason number 6. I feel like this is the first time where not in May or in June, it's like preseason, people are labeling you guys as a top 10 team in the country. I'm curious, just kind of, obviously that's a great thing, but that can also be you can play devil's advocate, and it can not always be a great thing for a team and mentality. How do you, as a leader, how did you guys kind of navigate that in the preseason and trying to kind of keep everyone level-headed and still knowing that you guys have a ton to prove?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Obviously, we're not going to hide behind what we did last season. That was an unbelievable season. It's something, we'll remember, for the rest of our lives. and it's in Coastal baseball history, right? But for us, going into this year, obviously the buzz around our team, like you said, was higher than ever. And the important thing to us is just continuing to stay humble and hungry, right? You guys know this game will kick you in the balls, quicker than any other game. So you could be riding high one moment, and the next moment, you're on an 8-game losing streak, right? That happened my sophomore year. So just understanding that getting everyone on the same page and making them understand that what we did last year is because of the processes that we trusted and putting our trust in each other and in our coaches. And that doesn't change this year because there are more eyes on us. It's the same recipe. There just happens to be more attention now. And that's something we try to instill in our guys every day. And that comes from the top down, from Schnall all the way down to our freshman guys.
Yeah, that's sweet. He rewinded a couple months ago when you guys were preseason. I'm going to rewind probably a handful of years ago. Coming out of high school, rated the top prospect in Pennsylvania. Probably lived in Pennsylvania your whole life. What led you to Coastal Carolina? I know these Coastal fans will probably eat this up, but you've been at Coastal for all 4 years, which is unheard of for a guy to be out of the school for all 4 years. You went to Coastal out of high school. You choose him over Binghamton and Delaware. Like, what got you down to Conway at the place you wanted to be, and you've been there for 4 years?
Yeah, no, playing baseball in PA is definitely a lot different than down here, and I've learned that through talking to a lot of South Carolinians on my team. But for me, I was never a highly recruited guy out of high school. I think just being where I'm from, and I was a smaller guy, not in like a huge high school conference. And for me, is like I knew for a long time that I could play this game at a very high level collegiately, coming out of high school. And I had Binghamton, I had Delaware, I had a handful of schools that were great schools. I would have had great careers there, got a great education. But for me, I knew that I had more to offer to the game. And when those schools did come and offer, I held out. And eventually I ended up going to a New York Yankees, like area code, scout tryout. And it was actually in Somerset, New Jersey, where they have their, I think it's AA affiliate there. Mm-hmm. And Schnall happened to be there that day. So Schnall's from Jersey, does a lot of recruiting up there. And I went to the camp, left, didn't think anything of it. I'm on the road the next day with my pops, and he gets a text from Schnall saying he saw me, wants to see me some more. And it kind of just went from there. He watched me play in WWBA that summer. I went and did one more, mini camp down at Coastal, and then I committed, 48 hours later.
That's sick. You rarely hear, like, I mean, to the second part of the question, like, you rarely hear guys staying there for 4 years. Like, what's been your go-to? I mean, you gotta love the guys, you gotta love the coaches. Like, Conway's probably held its own itself. Like, what's stood out to you in Conway that's kept you there for 4 years?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is Conway and the culture and the community just helps me. It makes me feel like a kid playing the game again. I think, you got a lot of these programs and you get there and it's just like you feel just individualized in, the sea of college baseball, right? And all the expectations. Whereas here you got a community around you. You got coaches who are playing the long-term plan, right? They're not trying to filter players in and out year to year, right? They wanted to get guys in and build them up. And, that's what I knew they wanted to do. And that's really what's happened with me in my career. It didn't start off too hot. I didn't play a lot my freshman year, and sophomore year wasn't what I wanted with injuries. But just trusting the process and trusting in my staff, my coaches, and my community here has helped me become the player I am today, and is why I've stayed so long.
Yeah.
So even like going off that, I mean, Kling, like, I don't know if you even know this too. Like, dude came in as a shortstop, and then they asked him to switch his position freshman year. So, like, obviously in today's day and age, like, that's the quickest position to be like, yeah, like, I'm out of here. If I'm not, especially guys that are shortstops, right? It's like, if I can't play shortstop, I'm out of here. So I want you to kind of dive into what went into that position change. And then obviously a lot of guys have to go through it when they get to college. And like, what's your advice on just going through that in general?
Yeah, it definitely was a shock for me showing up on campus. I mean, my fall and pre-spring couldn't have gone any better here. Everything was looking great. I was going to be the everyday shortstop going into my freshman year, and I started at short my first game, and we played NC State on a midweek. That first midweek, and boy, I've never been so sped up in my life.
That's the worst.
Terrible. It was like welcome to college baseball. I got the opening weekend under my belt, and then the shit just hit the fan. And for me as a freshman, I just wasn't able to focus on the game and control my emotions at the same time. And then I was spiraling out of control. And then at that point, it's like you can't perform at a high level when that's happening. So that kind of put me on the back burner for that freshman year. But sophomore year hits. I had great experiences that freshman year. We hosted the regional at home. I mean, that was an unbelievable experience. I was able to get into some of those games. And then the beginning of my sophomore season, I was playing infield again. And 2 weeks before we were supposed to start our season, we had some injuries in our outfield, and specifically our center fielder had an arm issue. And Gilly came up to me one day after practice, and he said, "Hey, man, like we need someone to play center. Would you be willing to do that?" I said, "Absolutely, but if we're gonna do that, I need to get out there like tomorrow. We got to start hammering this." And started doing it and never looked back.
Nice. Talk about that outfield practice with Gilly, because I hear that it's not just shooting you routine fly balls out there. I know when my brother came in, he tells a story. It's like one of his first days, and he was a 6'7" runner, probably one of the slower, or not a 6'7" runner. He was like a 6'8", 6'9", probably one of the slower outfielders you guys had at the time. And he said first day, Gilly's just shooting him gap shots where he can't even get to him, and he's just getting in his ass.
Yeah.
So tell me about kind of like, from what I've heard, I just want to hear your experience on that first day and how he was pushing you guys out there.
Yeah, no, I'm sure your brother's experience was a little more harsh than mine. I think he got softer as the years went on, rightfully so. But yeah, no, it wasn't a cakewalk. He loved shooting balls, so we're running directly into the wall. He loved that. And then obviously a lot of bend knee slides. And then it doesn't seem like a lot, but by the end of, you do 30 minutes of that, and you got 5 guys out there constantly rotating. And you're like, what the hell? Get me back in the infield.
Yeah.
But no, it was definitely a learning curve. But for me, I was just trying to act like a shortstop playing the outfield. I was just trying to be athletic and do what I could until I started, understanding how to properly play the outfield. Not giving up extra bags. That was a big thing. You don't have to throw everyone out, right? Every outfielder thinks they can throw everyone out. And over my years here, I've learned that's not the case. Just get the ball back into your most athletic and best defenders on the infield, and keep double plays in order and stuff like that. But yeah, that was definitely a grueling 2 weeks leading up to the season. But I felt pretty confident when the season opened up, and it's all taking care of itself.
It's cool because it's pretty evident watching you play the outfield that you were an infielder at one point. And I know, like, I'm sure you guys talk about getting rid of the ball quick, right? Like just getting it out instead of trying to throw people out. And I just know, like, it's very evident in when you get the ball, it's like you just have that catch and release that's a little bit more natural than some other outfielders. Well, let's fast forwarding into this year. Obviously, I don't know all of the details. This could be a huge week for the Chants. Word on the street is Cam Flukie is making his return. But just talk about you're down Flukie, you're down Johnson, you're down Lynch for a big chunk of the beginning of that season. How do you guys, especially you as a leader, kind of navigate through those injuries and kind of, I mean, and obviously you guys maybe scuffled for a week or so, but it did not take you guys very long to kind of figure out what pieces and what changes you guys needed do to keep winning ball games without those guys.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is really, as unfortunate as those injuries were, I think we're stronger for it now. And I think it highlights, what this program is all about. Top to bottom, whether you're a freshman or you're a senior like me, you're held to a high standard and you're expected to know the system inside and out, regardless of who you are or how much experience you've had. So when those guys went down, as unfortunate as it was, like I said, it's the next guy up mentality. We don't have time to pout and sit around. It's like when I got hurt last year, like I got hurt, it's over. Next guy up, and let's keep moving forward. And that's the mentality we had. And that pitching staff has really stepped up in a big way. And, we're going to get Fluky back. Lynch has been back. As we get some guys more healthy, all these younger guys have had a ton of experience up to this point. And that's going to only help us and push us forward when we do get our big arms back.
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's what people have been talking about all year, because it's a guy like Jackson Smollett's, I think, is like a perfect, like, he's a dude who could help you guys out as a freshman. But when you get, if everyone's healthy, he's maybe got, I would guess, like 15 to 20 innings getting into the postseason. Yeah. And now he's got a couple starts under his belt in these midweeks. And no, I mean, obviously it's to be determined, but I'm looking forward to seeing all those pieces back out there and seeing what you guys can do here in the next couple months. Now let's talk about now this comes down to the bullpen, but also the offensive side of things. They've been calling you guys the cardiac Chants as of late. Now this graphic is from last week, but 7 wins when trailing or tied after 8 innings. 5 of the last 7 wins have come in our last at bat. 6 last at bat road wins, and you're 2-0 in extra innings. Obviously that's not just luck. I know a little more internally, but just talk about the mentality of your guys' team that has kind of allowed you guys to have success late in ball games and still scratch out some wins.
Yeah. I think this stems from what we do every day, right? We try not to focus on the end goal. We try to focus on our day-to-day activities, and that goes into the game, pitch by pitch, AB by AB. And when we do get in those, late inning pressure situations, we're able to respond. And all we're trying to do as an offense is, and Schnall says it a lot right now, is just get 2 quality at bats back to back. You get a walk, you get a hit by pitch, somebody gets a hit, then you guys understand, like, this stuff just snowballs and snowballs. So we're not saying going in the last inning, we need to score 2 runs, 3 runs, 1 run. We're just saying, let's get this guy on, let's get the next guy on, and let's see what happens. And I think that's, how we've had a lot of success in 7, 8, 9 innings in late pressure situations.
Yeah. I would say Corey knows, like, you guys in Cincinnati at times, maybe more last year and 2 years ago opposed to this year, but I just love that you guys have not fully transformed into the pro ball, play for the homer, play for the 3-run home run. I mean, you guys, when it comes down to, it's like when you guys score the most runs, it's based on executing those bunts and putting a little pressure on the defense more than just relying on that long ball, right? Absolutely. I mean, it's crazy how, I'm not trying to knock anyone here, but it's not easy to field a bunt, right? Yeah. Everybody knows we're bunting, and they still can't defend it, right? Most of the time. Everybody knows we're bunting. Everybody knows the signs sometimes, and that doesn't matter. You put a good enough bunt down, and, anything can happen. That's hilarious, because that was like the narrative a little bit from when Coach Bishel came to Cincinnati. It's like, you're in the Big 12 now. Like, they can field bunts. Like, it's not going to work. And it's like, let's see. Not everyone practices it all the time. So
you find out really quick too, and it's like insane. But Dean, you got to remember this. What about 2024, second weekend of the year? You remember that game against us?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I remember it clear as day too. When you guys put up 3 touchdowns and a couple field goals. Yeah, I remember that. and I was behind the plate catching for, I think it was like 20-something minutes of that one inning. Yeah.
Oh, I believe it. I'm sure we put a couple bunts down in that game too.
I don't even know. I think it was who was it? It was Bender, and those dudes just going yard after yard after yard.
I'm sure Bender pretty much went yard every AB that year. So
yeah, I remember that was that's one of my proudest bets of my gambling career is taking the over 15.5 in that game, and I think it hit in like the first inning. Or second inning.
I think it was like 17-2 in the third.
Something like that. But let's talk about the staff. We just had Josh Overbeek on from Nebraska 2 weeks ago, and I brought up you guys when he was talking about their staff just because their head coach, Will Bolt, former player, took the Huskers to Omaha as a player. You guys have multiple dudes on this staff that wore the teal and black themselves. Not just Coach Knoll, but talk about, I mean, I have to think like as a player, it's got to be so cool to just to know that like when you're hearing from these guys, like they did it in the same campus, same colors that you did. Like there's just got to be a little bit more there than maybe other people that don't have coaches that played at their university. So just talk about kind of how cool that is to have guys that care about the school, the campus, and the program as much as they do.
Yeah. I mean, for all of this to work, everybody has to be all in. And to have people at the helm that have been all in for so long, essentially their entire career, it means everything to me as a player. And I know I could speak for the rest of the team on that. And for them to coach us up on how to play coastal baseball is everything you should want as a player. What separates us from other people is if you look on paper, there's nothing jumping out to you, especially this year, that should be a reason why we're ranked 9th in the country right now. But it's we're grittier, we're tougher, and we're more cultured than a lot of teams, in my opinion. And that, like I said, comes from the top because we've had guys who've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, that's sick. I love like talking to Overbeek from Nebraska, like you guys. I think it's dope as hell, like to have dudes like at the helm that have played there, coached there, like worked their way up from the bottom. But that's sick. I feel like that hits home a little bit more in the locker room, maybe in like post game talks, like when he's talking to you guys. I'm sure that hits deep, but yeah, no doubt.
Well, Cling, like when you sent me the interview of Ty Horn talking, like you could just see that it rubs off on the players a little bit. And like Dean talked about being more gritty. And obviously these are just two examples, but no, I think it's evident when you watch a team like you guys or Nebraska, where it's like those guys, that's a tight knit group and they're ready to run through a wall for just about anybody in that program. And it's definitely, it's fun to watch and it's evident the way you guys, grind every day. But yeah, so to give us a little insight, is Fluky back?
As far as I know, I mean, if I'm being honest, I probably know as much as you guys do.
Okay.
When he got injured, he was slated to come back this weekend.
Gotcha.
If he does, I can't imagine it'd be for very long, obviously, but I'm not 100% sure. But I mean, I hope so. I should talk to him after this. We're going to the award ceremony together, so.
You guys got like your spring one team awards coming up.
Yeah, we got So me, Blake, Fluky, and Hayden are gonna go collect it. Say some words and watch everybody else.
Nice. Were you guys team of the year? Baseball team of the year?
I sure hope so.
I would hope so.
Athletic department. No, that's cool. Like, I mean, speaking of that, you guys vibe along with like other teams. You guys hang out, or you guys do your own thing down there. Coastal, because I know obviously spring's so hard, but like fall, you guys
we'll get with teams. I mean, I know, so our head coach and our and the golf head coach are really close. So if we ever see each other out, like we're really friendly with the golf guys. In previous years, like women's lacrosse, like we'll hang out with each other a lot. Like if we ever have parties, they'll obviously be invited. Stuff like that. But not as many men's teams. Most of the time, it's just because like we're so damn busy.
Yeah. You guys got to keep a good relationship with those golf guys. I I know that they're in the process of building like a whole new golf building over there, right? With like a simulator and a bunch of different stuff in there. Say it might be a good thing to keep within the baseball program to reap some of those benefits at some point.
It's that building's actually almost wrapped up. They're putting the brick on it right now, and then I'm sure everything inside should be done hopefully by midsummer here.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Now talk to me about the War Room a little bit. We got to give those boys a shout out.
Absolutely.
I love the energy that they bring. They don't take themselves seriously at all. And I love like to me, that was so evident going out in Omaha. And like I totally get it, right? But like after a game, like when you're walking in the back concourse and like LSU and some of these teams are walking by like and like all the coastal, like you guys are just shooting the shit, having fun, not taking each other seriously.
Man. Bunch of goofballs. And like you had Darren on. That guy's the biggest doofus I've ever met. He's just always doing something funny. But no, those guys are great. And I think that's what allows them to perform at such a high level. I mean, if you can laugh at yourself and make fun of yourself, like what's the heckler when LSU's got 20,000 fans at Omaha? Like what is that really going to do when your boys are pointing fun at you every day and you're competing against your guys every day? And you're having fun doing it. Like you're playing ball, and they understand that. And obviously, Matt Williams, having him, he's the Messiah. He's part of the War Room. I get to interact with him every day as well, and just the attention to detail that he brings to that staff, and the importance of their one-day plans has taken this pitching staff, because my first 2 years here, we struggled a lot on the mound, and he completely turned it around. And it's evident in how he prepares for stuff and how he goes about talking to our players.
Yeah, no, and that's just something I kind of admired about the pitching staff and your team, because it's like once you're done playing, it's like shit. Like I kind of wish I didn't take myself so seriously all the time. Like I probably would have played maybe a little bit better at times, opposed to feeling like I should be Barry Bonds out there as a 200 career hitter. But no, you guys are super fun to watch and follow.
No doubt. I mean, damn, I wish I didn't care the last season like I did sometimes, but it's like shit. If I had played like the last season I played in all 3 years at UC, I might have, I don't know, probably not.
Hit above 240.
Well, my last year, yeah.
I was saying your last year you were up there.
Yeah. Yeah, I probably wouldn't be sitting here doing this, drinking beers 7 days a week.
Yeah, man. It could be worse things to do,
Yeah.
It could be worse. But no, that's about
Texas State this weekend, baby. Conway. That should be juice.
Man. No, it's gonna be a sweet series. No, they're
what?
A good team. They're well coached. So
yeah, what's like cool about you guys too is like, which sucks about like probably 70-80% of the schools around the country is like you guys seem like you guys pack your stadium out until that May. I guess it's in Lafayette, but that May, what is that 12th series? Like those last like weekend series, like you pack it out, but like those other 80% of schools, like they go on spring break, and it's like, damn, all the students leave, so like it's like bring the fans down, and you see them rolling with like probably 700 people. It's like I feel like Conway, it's always elbows to assholes in that stadium, no doubt.
I was down there on spring break, and there were no students, and I think you guys put up a top 10 attendance at least.
Holy shit!
I mean it's Conway. Baseball in Conway is a big deal, man. People want to come out and they want to watch winners, man. We've been winning, and when they show up, it makes us want to win even more. So just keep packing the stadium, and we'll see everyone out there.
Yeah.
I think it's cool too, because like I guess with an LSU or like a team like that, it's like a lot of people are probably traveling in, like driving an hour or two. Like you have that many people that are, but I feel like your guys is such like, I just got a community feel when I was down there.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a lot of the fans know each other, and like, even though they're not best friends, it's like, hey dude, how you doing today? Like, it's just, I don't know. I thought it was such a cool vibe, and they obviously took care of me, took me out to the right field tailgate, and
hell yeah.
No, definitely made an impression on me. I've said, like, for college baseball fans, bucket list place, in my opinion. Hell of a weekend down there.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah. Go have another weekend this weekend. What do you say?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Get that sweet.
All right. Well, that will wrap up this episode. Actually, Dean, one more question for you. I noticed you do have the Greek or the Greece flag in your Greek, obviously. Have you ever been to Greece? Because this is actually where my honeymoon destination is going to be this fall.
There you go.
So I'm pretty fired up about it.
Yeah, I have been. I've been 3 times.
Okay.
So my grandparents still live there. They live in Athens. So obviously we fly into Athens. I see them. But I've been to Santorini. I've been to Lefkada. I've been to Madeira. And then I've been up to the mountains where my father's, spent a lot of time growing up. So, that's going to be a great honeymoon, man.
I was going to say, I couldn't tell you where we're going. I wasn't involved in a lot of the planning of it. My fiance does a lot of the work on that end, but had me thinking I might need to buy I need to find one. I might need to get a Mihos jersey for when I'm out there and just rock a Mihos Stitch jersey all week. Would be elite.
Dude, if you get it, just let me know. I'll tell you how to type it out in Greek so you can be authentic as ever out there.
Yes. That'll be great. All right, man. Well, we appreciate you spending some time with us. We will definitely be locked in for the next 6 weeks or so. Hoping to see you boys back out in Omaha. Maybe get back in the locker room and hit a couple of these with the boys once again.
Let's do it.
Would be awesome. But no, thanks for coming on. We appreciate you, and best of luck this year, and stay hot down there.
Yeah, tear it up, Dean. Tear it up.
All right, you take care.